Come one, come all. We have the Thunderdome 13 Final Four that I have affectionately named the War Machine Cinderella story. Obviously, our fearless leader, War Machine, is in the Final Four, the furthest I think he's ever made it. Can he keep his magical run going? Some may think that calling it his Cinderella story means he did. I don't actually know. So I just decide to be lame as all hell and name things after him because I'm goofy. But in any event, here we are, real excited. Four heavyweights here, all playing each other. Trashy matchups with the Jets, which seemingly are the Jets seem to be in every single matchup we watch on Thunderdome. I don't even know how it's possible, but anyway, we couldn't do any of this without our fearless leader, War Machine. War, welcome, my dude.
What's going on, Hoff? What's going on, everybody?
Are you are
Final
you
four.
are you blushing because of my stream name?
No, I love it. I actually take offense to it. You act like I'm a scrub or something, but that's fine.
Well, I mean,
Um, but no, I'm excited. Final four. Thunderdome is winding down. Sunday night's going to be our championship series, but tonight we got two matchups, Jets matchups, and I agree. I think Jets are probably the most popular matchup call in tournament play. Them and the Cowboys, I think. But Yeah, interesting to see how these shake out. So I'm excited to do this with you.
yes, me too. I'm really excited to watch these games. I'm excited to call these games. I'm excited to watch you play Nas and interested to see. So you've got like what's real interesting, and I'm sure there's a preview of the games. I probably should just skip the slide and just get going here, and then I can talk to you about what I
Yeah,
think is
that's fine.
interesting. So let's get going here. I hope you guys aren't sick of hearing our voices yet. We only have one more Thunderdome stream. This is it. Like we have one more on Sunday, and then guys, Thunderdome 13, 2021 is coming to a close.
Over.
I think we have to like pour one out for the homies for that because I'm actually gonna have a life again where I don't have to stream Tecmo content every other night. I mean, you get to crawl back into the hole that you crawled out of. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see.
It's been a long month and a half, or I say 5 weeks, but it's been a lot of fun. I think it's kind of sad to see it go for sure.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so
Did you
what's
move on?
up?
I don't know
Let's
if you
let's
moved.
move on.
Yeah, basically it's just run the bracket here, the final four. Obviously DPS played in that great overtime win versus MX. RandyWags had his way with Sakamano, and then Nas beat Bo pretty handily, and then me and Brew had that epic game. So these are your final four. Obviously, looking at the numbers, there's a 1, 2, and a 4 seed, and then you got me as a 51 seed coming in as well. So these are your four. So anything you want to talk about specifically
Yeah,
or comment on?
how are you gonna come at me for calling you a scrub when we're the 51st seed in your own goddamn tournament? I mean, come on.
I know.
No, I really think, you know, we obviously had some upsets in the DPS region early on for sure, but I think that, two of the guys, like two of the guys over there that moved on, I'm not surprised by. You've got, and what I was gonna say before I started like rambling and then we went on to this is that so you've got Randy Wags who's been like the epitome of consistency probably since the beginning of 2020 through now, right? We talked a little bit about him in 2K and people got some feathers ruffled, but if anything, Randy in the last, maybe a couple months, it just seems that he's just making mistakes he didn't used to make before. He's still a robot, he's still a metronome. It's just that there's things I see him doing in game, whether he's winning or not, that are just surprising to me compared to what I'm used to seeing from him, right? And then you have like DPS, who's like the next up and comer. He kind of burst onto the scene in G League, and it's just a nothing but win. And even when he went like 8-8 in HSTL in like the ridiculously tough NFC East, he's just everything he's doing, he's winning, right? So that's interesting there. And then on your side, I mean, it's not a stretch to think, okay, Brewdog's probably gonna get past you, and then you're gonna have Brewdog versus Nas, which would have been like an old school heavyweight matchup, right? It's like two guys who've been around for a while, legends in the game. Their own rights. Nas obviously more than Brewdog, no offense to Brew, and to have that matchup, and then you just said, I don't care, screw you, Brew, I'm just gonna beat you, and then obviously with that crazy game that you guys had, and here you are, com- completing your Cinderella story. I will say that, and I think you'd agree with this, you probably had the easiest road, right? I mean, would you say that to get to this point? Not that anyone's bad, I'm not saying that, but if you just look at the competition that some people had to go through, obviously, like you didn't have like a Nas or a Tecmo Bow, to go through. It's no offense to Brew, it's just I think that, Nas, if you had to go through Nas, it'd be a lot more surprising if you were here, right?
Yeah, I
But
agree. I think definitely. I think I would agree with that. I think we agreed when we did the bracket show from the beginning that that entire bracket, that region was probably the weakest of the four. I think we implied. So yeah, I mean, I think that's true. I get it.
so. But yeah, that's basically all I have from the bracket perspective. I think that I'm excited for this. I think that I'm real excited that you're here in the Final Four. I think too often I don't remember. So like, is the last time you were in a championship was was that the 2K championship versus Middle Dog? Was that the only 2K Super Bowl you made it to?
Yeah, that was the last Super Bowl that I was in. Yeah, but
Well,
there was
no, no,
the
you were.
HSDL.
No, yeah, yeah, you were in HSCL Super Bowl after that against Gats, weren't you?
I don't know if it was after or before. I don't remember,
I
but
know
I
it
think
was.
that was before we did streams together. I know that for sure.
No, I think it was after because you were in two straight Super Bowls versus Gats. I think it was you and Gats 2 years, 2 seasons in a row, right?
Yeah, I think three out of four was me versus him, but I think it was 2 seasons in a
So
row,
I don't know if
and I,
people
and I
real
lost all three.
Yeah, I don't know if people realize how good you are. Like, I think that's like probably like the closet thing here is that you're flashy as hell with your content creation, and obviously you make me look good on these streams because of the content I'm displaying on my channel, but that you create and whatnot. But it's just like I don't think people realize like what a sound Tecmo player you really are especially when you're engaged. So I hope that if nothing else, that the people of this tournament, when they see how far you've gone and watch you in game, realize like what a good Tecmo player you really are, and I think you're probably one of the most underrated people in online Tecmo that there is, just for what it's worth.
Well, I appreciate that. I think just because I don't play as much as I used to, I think it's more of a reps thing for me. But I appreciate you saying that. But I think I can hang with anybody. I mean, taps obviously I don't have them versus anybody for the most part, but I think having to play good defense and good play calling, I think is what I do good and what I do well, and I think that's what gets me some wins when I need them. But we'll see. It'll be tough versus Nas and potentially later down the road if that's the case.
I know. Do you remember just like real fondly, real quick, anecdotal story? Remember when we first got into online Tecmo and like we couldn't wait to TPC? I think my first 2 months of online Tecmo, I played 800 TPC games, right? Like I just was playing till all hours of the night, couldn't get enough of it, and it's just like now, it's like I struggle to get my league games in, and like and like
You
and
know?
then even like when we got into leagues, like we would scrim to holy hell, practice our craft, stuff like that. I mean, I know you kept doing that much later than I did in a timeline standpoint, but man, I just
Yeah.
looking back at like our passion for trying to be good online compared to just like getting the games in, just it's kind of funny to me to look back
Well,
at it.
things change. I mean, you get older. I mean, life changes and stuff. But I agree. I mean, I played a ton of games early on. Now I just play literally 2K seasons and that's it. So I play like 16 games in a month, and it's not fun. So, um, but it's always nice to have some success. So hopefully I can keep it going.
So last
Ready to
question
move on?
before we move on here to the preview is
Yeah.
there's been some speculation in the community that you might consider running 2 Thunderdomes a year. Is there any truth to that story?
There's no truth to that.
Just
Where's that? Where's that brought up? Because I
I,
haven't
I
heard
I
about it.
I just made it up.
Okay. There's no way that's happening.
It was worth a shot, wasn't it? All right. Anyway, so let's
Yeah.
move on to the next slide.
Okay.
We got TPS versus RandyWags. Um, so as we kind of said, we got DPS. I mean, Dan has been very good for a while live, right? But he just got into the online scene recently, and he's quickly is he's kind of done what I did, where he made a name for himself, got some big wins, moved up in HSTL. He's running a league or two, and what have you, and so it's just kind of like he's just waiting for that big win, and he just got that big one, right? Didn't he just win? He just won 2KD League, right? Yeah.
Yep. 2KD
So
League.
he
But
got
he's
his
been
big.
winning in all these other leagues as
Yeah,
well.
but he just wasn't
He's been
winning
owning.
he wasn't winning the big game, at least in our leagues, right? So he wins the first D League Super Bowl against Icon, who was like the up and comer last year, and now he has a chance here to take down a heavyweight in Randy Wags. Randy Wags picked this matchup. Obviously, it's a tried and true Jets Cardinals matchup. You prefer personally the Cardinals in this matchup, but the math and Bruce specifically
No, I
said,
mean I like the Jets, but I think I'm comfortable with Phoenix. So I think it's one of those cases where I don't mind getting either team, but if I had my way, if somebody called it against me, I take the Jets 10 times out of 10.
oh, okay. I thought maybe
Yep.
you said you actually prefer the Cardinals. And I'm sorry,
No.
DPS, for forgetting about D League, my man. It's been we running a season every 6 weeks or every 2 months is and with all this stuff that we do, it just my brain gets fried with Tecmo stuff. But in any event, so there's no slide after this, right? So this is the
No,
slide
it's
to
a
talk.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything you want to talk about in this preview? Obviously, I kind of did my thing. I think DPS definitely has the taps on this, so Wags won't be able to do his ISO running that he usually does. Wags is pretty sound when it comes to scrambling, and obviously he'll pound Johnny Johnson. So I would say that DPS maybe isn't the best back in beer, but neither is Wags. So obviously I think it'll be harder for Wags to come from behind. If he gets behind, granted he's player one, you firsthand know what a shit show Timmy is. So it's kind of
Hmm.
like, what do you think about this matchup?
It's a classic matchup. I think it's just one of those games where it's just if Randy can establish a run, that's what he does best. I think that's where he has success. Because if he does get behind, like you said, I think it might be a problem. Because he'll admit he's a better runner than passer, but he has improved a lot in passing with his cycling over the last year. So I mean, it's just one of those matchups that I love to play, and I think it's an even matchup. It can go either way, and hopefully that there's no Tecmo that gets in the way to prevent a good game, because most of the time these games are close, especially with these two heavyweights. So classic matchup. I think it's going to be a good game.
All right, so then without further ado,
Yep.
guys, we'll stop talking. We've been rambling a lot. I've been rambling a lot because when we only have two games to do, it's kind of like what else? I mean, I don't. A stream that's less than an hour just can't happen with us. So, in any
It's true.
event, I mean, remember that stream we were doing when we were just announcing something about Thunderdome, and you thought it was gonna be 20 minutes, and we went like an hour and 15. So it's like, I don't know how we do this every time, but we
That's
do.
but we,
But all right, so
it's so
War
fun.
Machine will be back after this game. First game of the night. It's Randy Wags versus DPS, and let's get this show on the road. So DPS wins the toss. He's clearly going to kick off, and I think that you guys should comment. Maybe more can put up a poll about whether or not we should just hack the coin tosses out of the ROM, so that way people can stop creating drama from it. I don't know. We can hack. We can. I mean, I know. Maybe I'll let you guys keep the halftime show, but we'll just hack out coin tosses, or just make it. You have to auto skip coin tosses without fail. Like there's no not skipping it. But anyway, so DPS kicking off here, and let's see what Randy Wags can do. More specifically, I'm curious to see what playbook he has in place here. All right, so tough return there. Only 25 MS kick returner. In the HSTL leagues and stuff, you can realign, and it's a 50 MS kick returner, except not this season. So slow kick returner, and DPS in his head the first play. Tries to get it off to wide receiver 2 and overthrow. I feel like on the P2 side, that probably would have been an overthrow P2 interception, but there it just harmlessly fell incomplete. Ooh, and it's interesting. So DPS gets the popcorn, knocks the guy off, but Wags makes a move, and then DPS gets knocked down. So no ISO runs here. I mean, obviously that run one, kind of an ISO run, but that run one is no ISO runs here for Randy Wags against DPS, knowing he doesn't have the tap advantage. This is actually pretty much, I think, the playbook I would run. exact playbook I would. Oh, and DPS does a nice job there getting back on wide receiver 1. That 31 passing speed of Rosenbach. Such a pain in the ass. Crossfield throw, and overthrows it. Dangerous throw to try to do on 3rd and 7. It is 4th and 7 now, and you think, okay, field goal time, but it's 19 kicking ability to Del Greco. So RandyWags looks like he's going to go for it. Big play here in the first quarter. And Wags going to the tried and true run, cuts up right into the teeth of the defense. Bad cut there, ready to go at DPS. Probably should have gone at him and tried to shoot him. So let's see if DPS can capitalize here on that mistake by Wags. But inexplicably, I thought inexplicably, threw it to wide receiver Tune up top. I thought Wags got back there. It looks obviously he didn't get there in time. And what I thought was a bad throw was actually a fantastic job by DPS. So in one play, DPS makes Wags pay for his offensive ineptitude. And once again, Wags can't bring it past the 10-yard line. And a good job there by DPS. He did have help, but with the dive there at the end of that play. So you would think since Wags is paying attention, right? He sees Bird just destroying whoever he's got in at running back 2 on that run 2 play. You think he'd put like Wolfley in? It looks like he's got Bull in there actually. You think he would put like Wolfley in there or something to stop Bird from popcorning the guy, but clearly not. DPS in Wags head again, and the comeback throw does not get there in 3rd and 10, and Wags just cannot do anything on offense right now. And Wags trying to go to the run 2 halfback dive, doesn't get anywhere, and going for it on 4th and 6 at his own 26-yard line in the first quarter, down by 7. And DPS getting really good coverage. Gets it, and the pass block. He had Johnny Johnson wide open, and DPS gets a thrown pass block at a cut screen. Wow. Just wow. DPS throwing to a wide open running back 2, but he dropped it. I'm surprised Tony Eason is not in the game right now instead of O'Brien just because of the 19 MS, but it doesn't matter. 2 plays and DPS gets the ball into the end zone, making RandyWags turnover on downs beneficial for himself again. Condition check real quick once Wags is on offense is it's going to be the Tupa time. He's going to be LVP 2.0 for those of you who remember my reference of the Dak Prescott ratings from 2K an iteration ago. He does have Ricky Prohl in at good now, who's 25-75. Oh, Ernie Jones is bad. Kick returner is now 31 MS. Defensively, only thing to note for DPS is Kyle Clifton, the ultimate linebacking nickel, is in bad. Let's see if Wags has better luck with Tupa in the game. Oh, and that time DPS going for the home run dive, did not get it. And ISO grapple, and look, Wags beats DPS in a tap off. Maybe that will get him to seek out contact throughout this game to try to out tap him again. Good diving stop there by DPS. Oh, and gets it there. I thought that McMillan was in position, and no, McMillan was too close instead of JJ intercepting that ball, which it would have been 50% chance of a JJ pick. He dove instead, and just like that, Wags gets on the board, fitting the ball into the tight end about 12 yards out. What a throw. You got to think that if McMillan, JJ picked that ball, and DPS scored again before the end of the half, this game was pretty much over. Still don't understand not having Tony Eason in the game at this point. I don't think the 56 PS is worth it compared to the rest, but regardless. RandyWags in DPS's head here now, maybe with a chance to get the ball back. And incredible coverage by the drones for DPS, but DPS doing the tried and true. We've seen this before in Thunderdome. The pass three overthrow JJ to the running back. Second time we've seen that, I believe, in Thunderdome so far, and second time we've seen it as off-screen timing play as well. And DPS finally puts Eason in and is back in being into tune. And does not get the diver, looked good. You got to think, because he's so far down the field, he doesn't have to go to tune. He can actually maybe, oh, more isn't bad, but go to one of his slower guys if he wants. Doesn't pick the play. He's got, looks like he's going to more wherever he put in wide receiver 2. I think he waited a little on Mathis, so he didn't wait too long because Mathis is only 19 MS. And gets it perfectly. Man, backbreaker for RandyWags, because DPS gets the second half kickoff. Incredible timing play there again by DPS, knowing he had extra time with Mathis and his 19 MS, so just really taking extra time there before launching it. Story of this game might be K. Molnar's prop bets that DPS, we're all assuming DPS would have a ton of rush yards, and really doesn't. If DPS scores in this drive, it is going to be way out of hand here for RandyWags. All right, so let's see if DPS can put Wags away, in essence, on this drive. DPS smartly leaving Eason in. Brad Baxter now in good as well, but Toon, Moore, JoJo, Boyer, and Wellstand all in bad. And DPS almost gets that ball away. Probably better that he didn't with Wags back there with Young ready to pounce. Lonnie Young in bad for Wags, and DPS going back to the back and B method. Trying to get it to 2. And once again, a missed P2 dive. stop there for RandyWags, keeping himself in this game. And conditions definitely in Wags' favor at this point too. Timmy and Tupa both in good. Johnny Johnson also in good. Ricky Prohl in good. However, Roy Green and Ernie Jones in bad, so he doesn't have a lot of speed to throw to. Defensively, Kyle Clifton in bad and now Stargell in bad as well, but that doesn't really matter. So RandyWags not abandoning his game plan here, and great job by Wags using his blocker to just popcorn the hell out of DPS there. And as I was saying, RandyWags not abandoning his game plan here, sticking to the run game and gonna march right down the field. Ooh, and this would have been a touchdown here but if you guys were watching when DPS got engaged with the lead blocker, another blocker came and instead of popcorning DPS onto the ground, actually bounced off for us. That would have been a touchdown. And RandyWags just not doing enough behind the line, just staying there like a statue with his arrow just staying on one wide receiver, think he's going to bait DPS into making a poor decision, not paying attention to the drones that are coming out. Ooh, and great move by Wags in that play, running back and forth behind the line a la Gats, and scores a touchdown. What an incredible run. And just like that, RandyWags is one stop or one DPS mistake or one Tecmo incident from having a chance to tie this game. Oh, and there's the fumble that Wags needed, but it went out of bounds. Condition check here. Ken O'Brien and Tony Eason now in good, so you gotta think it's gonna be the Ken show if it wasn't already. Baxter in good, Toon back out of bad, and so is Boyer. Defensively, Lonnie Young in bad, and Ken Harvey in bad. But Freddie Joe Nunn, the savior of War Machine's Thunderdome, is in good. Big 3rd and 1 here for DPS. Nice little scramble there. 19 MS does help. Can he get this first down? And everyone's open. RandyWags must have picked run. Easy conversion there for DPS. And DPS just trying to do his best now to run clock, hoping to not give the ball back to Wags, or at least give it back to him with a 2-score lead. And RandyWags really selling out on run, leaving it super easy for DPS to convert another first down. And DPS with the out tap on Wags, but the drone help foils his plan. Once again, Wags picking run, everyone open. DPS is going to have an easy scramble for a first down. And time becoming the enemy of RandyWags in this game. RandyWags selling out run one more time. Ooh, DPS does a nice job of avoiding a drone diver there and gets 7 yards on that play. Ooh, and what a stop by RandyWags on that play. And you can tell Wags did pick run on that play simply because all his guys stay at the line. A huge 3rd down play here. Ooh, and look, oh, and he gets caught from behind. He thought he had a clear path. Wags gets knocked to the ground, but no, gets caught by the drones. And on his way in, still got in the cut screen, Ken Harvey gets caught in bed. And just like that, DPS with a 2-score lead, which is going to make it super tough here for Wags to come back. It's pretty much going to be a back and B to Johnny Johnson, who is excellent at 63 MS with 50 receptions. And as I've surmised, it was Prohl getting completely blown up by Dennis Bird on that run-2 dive. Let's see what Timmy Rosenbach can do here in good. And DPS picks his play, making it even harder. And you have to think he has to pretty much get in the field goal range or something on this play, or else there's just not enough time. And the line holding him really well. Gets the ball to Johnny Johnson. It looks like it might be an overthrow. Nope, got there. And gets it! Gets it! It's like the defender wasn't even there. Completely beat Tony Stargell, Brian Washington, whoever was on him at the bottom. And what a play. Just like that, Wags still has a chance. Holy God. But no drama on the ensuing onside. It didn't even hop. It went right to Ken O'Brien's hands. And barring a fumble here, DPS taking down the metronome, RandyWags, in the Final Four of Thunderdome. Uh-oh. Ooh, and throws it, but no harm, no foul. Wasn't going to get JJ picked. There's the punt to seal it. DPS moving to the Thunderdome Championship Series. RandyWags getting bounced out in the Final Four. Congratulations, DPS. Better luck next year, Wags. All right, War Machine. What a game. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, this is a game that there was no real Tecmo junk, right? There was no fumbles. There was no Tecmo getting in the way. DPS just played an amazing game. I mean, he dominated Randy at the beginning. I think Randy would like to have those possessions back in the beginning, maybe even punting on that fourth down deep in his own territory. But DPS played great. Randy made a great comeback to make it a game. But once you get one or two stops, it's really hard, especially if you kick off or if you receive the kickoff at the beginning of the game. It just makes it really, really tough to come back. So, man, DPS, all he does is win. It's DPS's world right now, and we're living in it, I think, because he's just dominating everything he's playing in. So I'm not surprised by this, given, Randy's stature. It's just a testament to how great DPS is playing. So definitely a great effort.
Yeah, I think DPS played incredible. I also think that Randy Wags really, I mean, I said it on the stream, the personnel situation, putting Ricky Prohl at wide receiver 2 for that halfback dive where Bird was just destroying him, I think really messed up some runs hit for him in the first quarter specifically. I liked Randy Wags going for it when he was in DPS's end. I just think it's too far for Del Greco, and what's the point, right? Especially with Bird crashing in. But I didn't like Wags going for it down 7 in the first quarter with 20 seconds left. I thought that was a little foolish there. But give credit to Randy Wags. He got the stop he needed, then got some luck there at the end. There was just not enough time. He just he didn't have enough time once he got down so much, and it's just kind of how it goes. So not taking anything away from DPS, I just think there could have been some better personnel decisions there for on Randy Wags' side for what it's worth. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I think at that last possession, I think Randy really was just caught in one of those situations where you're just doing the opposite of the other guy, where he just kept sitting on run. DPS kept passing. It really, helped DPS, having open guys every single time. But I mean, we're all in those situations where you just make the wrong call at the wrong time. But it felt like DPS just kept calling pass when Randy called run, and I think that hurt him at the end. And I mean, I agree. I think some personnel decisions possibly, but I mean, give Randy credit for coming back, making it a game, even though like he had to bomb it to get there. But he did force that fourth down to kick the field goal. But Ken Harvey and bad was just tough. So
Well, yeah. Plus that
hats
field.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Harvey still got in the cut screen for what it's worth, so could have blocked him from being. If you looked when the kick was made, he was actually being grappled. A, but B,
yeah,
I gotta say, I think the best drive of the whole game was by Randy Wags on his on that Johnny Johnson like running behind the line 3 times drive. I think that was
yeah,
his first touchdown drive. I think that was probably like some the best running that we saw in the whole game. And I mean, once again, it's just if you looked at some of the drone play, like the drones were just really getting involved, making some stops there that you don't necessarily see them make all the time. But not taking anything away from Randy Wags, he's one of the best there is, and DPS has played a great game, and Randy Wags just couldn't get a beat on his play calling, and as you said adequately already, specifically in that last drive when DPS needed to chew clock, Randy Wags just was sitting and running, and it wasn't helping. So once again,
yeah.
congratulations DPS. Better luck next season or next year. Sorry, Wags. All right, here we go, War. It's on to you versus Nas. Nas, who is, I think, arguably the best online player there is. I mean, the only person that could potentially, compete against him maybe is Gats, right? With Gats' his online accolades. I mean, Gats was almost winning Super Bowls without even tapping. So
Yeah.
I would say Nas is probably the golden goose of online. I think it's safe to say that. So going into this game, I'll just let you give me your thoughts on the matchup call, all that good stuff. Did you hope he won the toss? Lay it all out there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to think of the proper matchup call for Nas. I think there were three matchups that I kind of had to narrow down to. Um, I just felt that this one was one I felt most comfortable with because the others were more offensive oriented matchups. It was going to be Cleveland Green Bay, which is essentially just who gets the ball last kind of game. Honestly, I just didn't want to embarrass myself playing him because, playing in those Cleveland Green Bay games, you pretty much just need Tecmo to screw you. It's going to be a touchdown every possession if you play it the right way. But I want to play a matchup where I can get a stop potentially. So I picked Atlanta and Jets. I'm very comfortable with this matchup. I'm okay with either team. I do prefer the Jets, obviously, but I figured as player one with Bonjay Rison, I can always get bailed out if I need it. I don't know what it is about Nas and his play calling or the way he plays defense, but whenever I play him, I feel like every guy is always covered. I know he sits on pass for the most part, but I don't know. It just seems like every guy is covered. So I figured if guys are covered, I have Rison to bomb it to. So I put in a playbook where I have Rison going deep all three plays up top. So I was planning on going back and B style, trying to mix up a little bit, but I figured getting the Falcons was fine for me, and if I get the Jets, even better. So, what do you think of this matchup as far as like, have you played it a lot, or who would you have taken? Do you think was the right call against Nas?
I think that this was, I think this makes sense. I don't understand. Um, well, I don't know. It's just like I just feel like it's like I've been watching a lot of Nas's streams, right? And it's just like it just seems like what he can do offensively is just wild to me between his moves and the way he calls passes and his passing game in general. It would have been interesting to see him try to do that with Atlanta. I would have been interested to see him with like a lower. I think maybe like the way to like stop him is get a lower PSQB in his hands potentially. Like
Hmm.
if I was playing Nas, that'd probably be. Um,
Well, Atlanta Phoenix was another one I was considering just to give either Rosenbach and Chris Miller like that kind of game. That was also one of the ones I was considering as well, just for what it's worth.
gotcha, gotcha. So I think that, but honestly, man, it's like I just, I gave Nas all the accolades before you started talking. Like I think he's like the golden goose of online, right? So it's just, I mean, I think you're being humble by saying you don't want to embarrass yourself. I think you can definitely give him a run for his money, and especially when you're playing your best. I think obviously with the past player one advantage, hopefully that helps as well. But I don't. I'm not a great matchup caller to be honest, so I don't really know what would have been a better matchup. So I guess I'm just interested to see how this goes, and I'm excited to watch it, excited to call it, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
All
I'll
right,
be back.
We'll be welcoming you back, man, after this game. Hopefully, you'll be happy for your sake because I want to see the Cinderella story continue. All right, here we go, guys. We got Nas versus War Machine in the other side of the bracket, Final Four. All right, so Nas wins the toss. Nas wins the toss and is kicking off, so uh, sorry guys. Kicks off, and so here's War Machine's first chance. And a nice first down there by War Machine. So sticking with the ground game here, obviously with the Falcons, you want to have the back and B option, if, as War Machine was saying in the pregame. But it's more of the ground and pound, and then it's taking the shots when you can. And this is one of those shots that we were talking about. And no JJ. So 4th and 10, and Nas forces War Machine to punt on his first drive. And Nas gets some blocking help there. War Machine way behind, and a huge run here for Nas. And Nas, who usually doesn't run very often, will pass more than anybody, runs twice there in his first 2 plays, and is now first and goal to go from the 3-yard line. Nas just doing the exact opposite of what we're used to seeing him do, and goes run 3 one more time. Doesn't get in because he runs into the blocker, but has multiple chances here. And this is more what we're used to seeing from him with the passing game and trying to run a guy open, and just moves all over the pocket and just gets right to the running back 2 in the middle of the end zone, but it gets dropped. And War Machine doing the popcorn off the left tackle there, well, right tackle, I guess, when you play from the P2 side, and incredibly, after being first and goal from the 3, holds Nas at 3 points. And that's the end of the first quarter, and let's see if War Machine can have some better luck on this drive. Condition check, nothing to note for War Machine side on offense. On defense, James hasty and good, which I don't think is really going to matter much. Back and beat Horizon, Nas is short. And it's picked off by Drone McMillan, because once again, Miller not getting the JJ. Man, tough break there for War. Nas once again going to run 3. And Nas just running way down the field and gets a touchdown. Just having his way with War Machine's defense. So the guys are saying in the chat, the drones on Atlanta are completely useless, except obviously Deion Sanders is the prize there. But War Machine still does have a chance here to try to make this respectable before the end of the half and get back in this game. And everyone's covered, much like War Machine was saying in the pregame. And I don't know how he gets this kind of coverage on his, maybe it's the pass plays he called, but if you just look once again, every single guy is covered, besides Clifton being out there. So once again, War Machine resulted in going back and B to Ryzen, and once again, no JJ Love. Going back and beat a Ryzen one more time. Finally gets it, and just like that, War Machine is back in this game after probably a first half, aside from that goal line stand that he wants to forget. Halftime skipped, thank you guys. So let's see what Nas can do here on his third drive of the game. Condition check real quick. Tony's in bad, but he's not using him anyway. Altoon in bad, and Boyer in bad. Defensively, nothing really to note for War except his linebacker 4 is now 38 RP. Picks his play, hoping for the love, and no interception, but gets it, nods his head a little bit there. So War with pretty good coverage here too, but Nas going back and B to Tune. Sanders looks like he's locked on. And diving CC does not work. 3rd and 10 for Nas. Run 3 does not work for Nas there. 4th and 5, and is he going to punt? Huge stop for War, the stop that he needed, and just like that, War is back in this game. Condition check, Hugh Millen in good. You got to think Hugh Millen's coming in the game. Rozier in bad, Dixon in bad, but Rising in good. Now 69-81, basically Jerry Rice in average. Defensively, James Hasty in excellent. So another player for Nas to use, which helps because McMillan's in bad, Kyle Clifton in good, making him even a better ultimate nickel. The only thing about Hasty being an excellent is that because when he does go back and cover Ryzen, he will be doing so potentially more effectively and excellent. Ooh, and War gets caught behind the line by Dennis Bird and friends. And as noted in the chat as well, with Hugh Millen being good there, but more importantly, McMillan being in bad, there's no more JJ pick opportunities for Nas against War Machine. Called play, pass 3, hot route dive there for War. guys are open, he has a chance here, and does a nice job of baiting Nas that had to come up and gets the ball off to Collins and makes a move or two and trying to get out of bounds, doesn't get there, but no fumble. And War Machine moving nicely down the field. Tries to get the ball to Risen, and Hasty breaks it up. So basically, aside from one back and B to Risen, it's really been nothing doing. And the overthrow, the hot route pass 3 overthrow into the waiting hands of a Jets defender. And War just can't catch a break. Good job play calling there on defense by Nas. And everyone really, lots of guys open that play. Nas gets the ball off to Hector in the middle of the field. Condition check real quick. Only thing to note is now Toon and Moore both in bad, well set, and excellent. Defensively, Michael Reed in good and Brian Jordan in good, but Case in bad. And that's it for War. And War using the help of his drones to tackle Nas there. Let's see if War can stop it. Run 3 has been Nas's go-to in this game. Nice little scramble there by O'Brien to get 6 yards. And Nas doing a good job of burning clock here and moving down the field. Oh, and the missed throw by O'Brien. Nas had Hector at running back 2 wide open. Oh, and there goes War with Gann to get the diving sack behind the line, forcing Nas to kick a field goal. Wow, what a play by War. War Machine, where the tale of his Thunderdome has simply been his defensive moments making incredible dives. The table is set here for War. Hugh Millen is an excellent. Risen is in good. McMillan's in bad. Hasty's still in good, and Clifton's still in good. Table set here for War to back and beat it to victory. Rozier in bad, so he's only 44 MS. But watch out for the fumbles, and you got to think that at some point here he'll start back and being it to Risen, and then just hope that Nas does not connect on the P2 back and BJJ. And here we go, getting the ball to Risen. Clifton's not locked. Overthrow. Multiple shots here. It's 4-down territory regardless at this point. Ooh, and it's one-on-one with Risen again. He's going to go to him. Oh, no, he's throwing to the tight end. Well, what we did tight end, and he doinks it. So, is that Keith Jones wide open, but in bad. 19 receptions, doinks the ball, 14-7 for the game. The Cinderella story could come to a stop right here on this back and B to Andre Rison. And here we go, guys. Nas not back there. And fifth, Q Millen in excellent. Overthrows the ball. And aside from some Tecmo junk, the Cinderella story is over. The Atlanta Falcons have failed War Machine. And Nas adds insult to injury, sealing the deal with a touchdown to Hector. And so Nas has moved on to the Thunderdome Championship versus DPS. War Machine, our fearless leader, the best commissioner in Tecmo, and obviously an incredible and the best tournament runner, has lost. But he'll be back on with us here momentarily to give us his thoughts and talk about how much he wants to rage that a 50-50 QB can't hit Jerry Rice basically in good to try to win the game. And just like that, to add insult to injury, Millen overthrows it again. So only hit Ryzen one time on the back and B. Not what you would have guessed in this game. Not what War Machine would have hoped for. War Machine, bring it on back, man. What were your thoughts based on what happened there? Only hitting that connection once.
Yeah, I think it was. I was surprised. I mean, I figured I had the advantage with Millen and Excellent, but overall, like the entire game, I felt like I timed everything perfectly. It just was one of those games where it just didn't connect, right? So, um, I was nervous to start the game. Obviously, my first two possessions weren't the greatest, but I kind of settled in and played a little bit better, I think. But I mean, kudos to Nas. He played great. He made the plays when he needed to. That drop by the tight end was crucial. I was hoping to get four more cracks at it and hope that I could hit at least one out of four. There was a lot of time left. I was a little bit nervous with the clock game because when he kicked that field goal, there was like 3 minutes left, and I figured it was like no man's land. Do I just go for the bomb right away and then just hope for the player two luck, or just try to drive, the right way without going back and B and I struggled with that decision, but I wanted to kill clock if I could, and that's why I threw it to the tight end and he just dropped it and just didn't give me much of a chance. So it is what it is. I can't complain too much. The better player won, and he's moving on.
Yeah, I mean, Jones wasn't bad there, only 19 receptions. You played it perfectly. You acted like you were going to stay deep. Nas was trying to bait you that he might have been playing shallow to not get you to throw it deep, but he was actually deep. And you played it right. It just was a drop, and then you just didn't get any love. So I think obviously the difference in that game is not getting any love whatsoever. But I mean, you have to think with Millen specifically and excellent that you were going to get more love than that. Even if you didn't get the Chris Miller love on that final drive, you just had to think. And even that last play that didn't mean anything, it just couldn't hit
I know
anything.
it
I
was
mean,
he was right there, and like he didn't jump. Like it was kind of crazy, but
yeah,
it
I mean,
happens in Tecmo. Sometimes it's unstoppable, and sometimes that happens right there, and it happened at the worst possible time for me. So
absolutely. All right, so is there a slide
we'll
after
move
this you
on.
want me to go to?
Yeah, sure. I think there's just the final bracket. I think
All right, so
we got
congratulations
Nas and
to
DPS.
yeah, congratulations
Go ahead.
Nas. You obviously advanced. War Machine, my dude. I'm sorry, man. Better luck next year. And it was an incredible run by you. So we have it. We
Oh,
got
thank you.
DPS versus Nas. For the Thunderdome 13 championship. It's a best 2 out of 3 series. You want to explain the rules real quick, War?
Yeah, it's best out of three. So they do one coin toss. Winner of that coin toss obviously picks the matchup, and then game two they swap positions. So the loser of the toss in game one is then P1 in the second game, and if it goes 3 games, it's a regular coin toss as well. So 2 out of 3. Hopefully we get 3 games just to make it more dramatic. But two great players, the 1 and 2 seeds overall, just given the bracket ratings and probably two of the best players we have going right now. You would agree, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Nas, the perennial, great player in DPS, playing some of the best Tecmo of anyone around right now. So I'd agree with you. I mean, there's probably a list of guys I would throw up here that like where I just would be like, this is going to be an incredible matchup, and this is definitely one of them. So I mean, obviously, I would have been super stoked if you were here just for the sake of you being here, and I think you're really good, as I already gave you all the accolades I said before your game. But I think that I mean, I can't imagine who wouldn't be excited to see this matchup, right?
Absolutely. Two great players playing at their peaks right now. DPS is a OG monster. In live play. Nas won Thunderdome, more known for his leagues, but clearly showing that OG ROM league play, locked, unlocked positions, he's still the GOAT. So couldn't ask for a better matchup between these two guys. The plan right now is for these guys to hopefully play in the next couple of days, and we're going to have hopefully the championship series on Sunday night. I know it's Easter, but hopefully Sunday evening people are home and can sit back and enjoy some Tecmo. So that's the plan.
Great. All right, man. So we're almost there. We're almost to the finish line. What an incredible tournament it's been. What an incredible month it's been. We're about what? Just about 1 month in, right? Or just a little over a month in at this point.
It'll be 5 weeks on Sunday. Yeah,
Yeah.
5 weeks total.
And then And then that's it. And Thunderdome 13, the chapter
It's over.
will be closed, and everyone will go back to their normal lives and not have something to look forward